So why do certain groups of people live a little bit longer, healthier lives than anyone else? And what can you and I learn from them? Well, our next guest has traveled the world, locating the places where people lead productive lives into their, get this, late 90s and even 100s. Now, he calls these places blue zones or longevity hotspots. And Dan Buettner, who leads the Blue Zones expedition, joins us now to tell us a little bit more about it. Now, Dan, last time you were here was about a year ago, and you found two spots, Sardinia and Okinawa, where these people were living long lives. Now you found a third one. Tell us about the third one.
It was on a National Geographic expedition, and we were working with Costa Rican doctor, Luis Rosero, and we found an area in northern Costa Rica about the size of Connecticut. And there, if you are a middle-aged man, you have about a 4 times better chance of reaching age 90 or 100 than you do in America. And remarkably, they do this spending about 7% of what we do on health care, and they achieve it by lifestyle.
That's amazing. So now you've got 3 spots. You've got Sardinia, beautiful spot. Okinawa, beautiful spot.
Yes.
Now Costa Rica, another beautiful spot where people tend to live a little bit longer. In Costa Rica, you guys found some unusual stuff with them the first time. Now, they have non-traditional views of marriage and sex and relationships in general.
Yeah. It was 2 expeditions. The first one just confirmed it, and we interviewed about 20 men between the ages of 90 and 100. And Latin America typically is conservative when it comes to sex. But these guys often had relationships outside the marriage or along with the marriage. And we even met one 100-year-old guy who had a 60-year-old living girlfriend. And when you think about it, there's nothing more stressful than living an entire life with a spouse that doesn't work for you. And
Dan, you're going to get us in trouble with science here. So wait a minute. So you're saying that in this spot, now this wasn't in Okinawa necessarily or not even in Sardinia, but in this spot in Costa Rica, non-traditional relationships are one of the things that you point to in longevity.
Right. What we look for are the lifestyle factors that seem to contribute. Actually, genes really play a minor role in how long we live. And at Blue Zones, we found sort of an a la carte menu where you can pick and choose things that, statistically speaking, will give you more good years of life.
Now, let's go through, though, the things that people normally talk about, and then you tell me whether they work or not.
Okay.
You would normally think about, like, diet.
Yeah.
So if I'm eating, leafy greens and nuts more than I'm eating processed foods, does that make a difference?
All the longest-lived people in the world eat a plant-based diet. It doesn't mean they don't eat meat, but they just minimize it. They tend to eat a lot of legumes, tofu, and nuts, it seems. People who eat nuts live on average 2 to 4 years than people who don't eat nuts. So an easy takeaway here is eat about an ounce of nuts 4 times a week. And they don't know if there's a magical ingredient in nuts or if because you're eating nuts, you're therefore not eating potato chips.
Right. Oh, I see. So it might be the nuts, but it might be what you're not eating as well. Okay, now what about exercise? Because, there's book after book after book about exercise, getting to the gym, do your thing. What did you guys find out in your spots?
The people who live the longest are not running marathons. They're not doing triathlons. They're doing things like walking with their friends. It's low-intensity thing. I think the best thing you can do is play vigorously with your children. It not only builds a strong body, but it also builds a strong family, which is also correlated with longevity.
Okay, and that, getting to family, is also kind of having a purpose once you get past 60. You found that these communities do. Yeah,
the Okinawans have this beautiful word, ikigai. In America, we tend to break our adult lives up into our work life and then our retirement life.
Yeah.
Okinawans don't even have a word for retirement. Ikigai imbues their entire life with purpose. And as Americans, we might interpret that as committing to ongoing education. I think is a great thing to add good years to life.
So just kind of giving that respect and a place in the community later in life seems to make a difference in how long you actually live.
The 100 centenarians I met, all of them were likable people. There wasn't a grump in the bunch.
All right, and one thing for folks who want to find out how long their life expectancy is, you guys have got like a Blue Zone compass.
Yeah.
You can answer questions and find out?
We work with Allianz Life and Davisco and the University of Minnesota School of Public Health. It's the most accurate life expectancy calculator there is. It asks 33 questions, and it will give you 8 customized suggestions on how to get 8 extra good years of life.
All right, so all you have to do then is go to your website to find it out. We'll link you in case you want to know what your life expectancy is. We'll link you from our website at abcnews.com. So that's the pretty easy one to kind of figure out about what the life expectancy is here. So we'll be back more with GMA in just a moment.